Now, welcome to Live Talking Blues. We got our special guest here tonight. She started performing around the age of 13 in Kenosha, Wisconsin with a real deal band. She continues to nurture her music and her genre, bringing a nice swing to it. She's a multi-instrumentalist. Please welcome Ivy Ford. Come on in, girl. Come on in. You're already in anyway. I had you in.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. What's happening?
Just not a whole lot. Getting ready for the weekend full of shows, which is always nice. We're actually this weekend, me and my band will be playing at Rose's Lounge in Chicago. It's one of the oldest blues clubs. They opened back up again, so that's very exciting to be one of the first artists kind of back in the saddle of things. So I'm looking forward to that.
I've only been there once. Well, for our UK audience and our European audience, it's about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we've got, we're still up early there. But,
right. Yes.
Where is I only know, I had some cousins in Southside Chicago. Rose's Lounge. Whereabouts is that?
It's on Armitage. So that's actually, let me think. It's a little bit. Is it what, a little north side? It's not quite in the loop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I remember. Is that where you get those hoagies?
I'm trying to think.
That's Chicago.
No, maybe at one point.
Oh, maybe that's Philadelphia. I don't know. Listen, right, I'm from Los Angeles. I've been away a long time.
Yeah.
So you're putting your own spin on the blues and you're holding the torch. I mean, you just turned 28, didn't you?
Yeah, I turned 28 in February.
February, right. And you, in one of your interviews, I heard you talking about something when you had written your album called 27. Was that your last album?
Yeah, that's my newest one, and I actually, do I have it? Let's see, I got it. Let's see.
Yeah, get a copy up there.
Yeah, this is my latest album, Club 27.
Yeah.
And when it was funny because when I was when I was planning on doing another album, I didn't really have a concept yet for it. And then as time went on and I was writing, it just kind of fell into place. So Club 27, it's all original material of mine, but it has a lot of influences from artists like Jimi Hendrix, Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, stuff like that, which all of those artists unfortunately passed at a timely death at 27.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, there's a whole, if you Google the 27 Club, there's a whole list of artists.
It's quite long listed, really. It's
and like I said, it's kind of unofficial, the whole club thing, but there's Janis Joplin's included in it too, and it's kind of like some of the mega larger than life kind of rock stars of the decades that like I said kind of passed unexpectedly at 27. So like I said, when I started writing that album and things like that, one thing kind of led to another. And I said, well, you know what? I said, if I'm going to do this, I might as well go all out. And it actually was released at midnight on my 27th birthday. And the cover, actually, I don't know if you guys had picked up on the cover of this. It's me, which I gotta say that because a lot of people, they see it and they say, oh, who's on the cover? And I say, it's me. And it's kind of my take on recreating the famous Robert Johnson picture, which
I see. I like that.
And I think there's only about 2 known photos of Robert Johnson.
That's right.
And Robert Johnson is considered probably the father of not only Delta blues, but kind of the starter of how we know blues today. And it was just recently in the last couple of years that they finally found a kind of a birth certificate and a death certificate.
Really?
And doing the math, he actually had passed away at 27. So, and I didn't know that. Until
God, you're kidding.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I was in the final edits of my album, and I said, well, that's it. It makes it even more the universe talking to me that makes a lot of sense. Being primarily a blues artist. So yeah.
Yeah. No, That's pretty amazing because I mean this. Well, I guess you feel blessed now. You've made it to 28. So,
Yeah, that's what I would tell people. I was like, because when I was doing, I said, "Don't worry." I said, I ain't planning on like punching my membership card to that club, at all.
yeah.
But it definitely there was definitely a lot of kindredness and stuff like that for a lot of reasons. So yeah.
Yes, of course. You know, what was I going to say? 20 something. Oh, you're doing. You're taking your own spin on the blues, and you're playing. You're playing a bit of. You put a little bit of soul and a little bit of
Oh,
other
absolutely.
mixture,
Well,
don't you?
yeah, I mean, I personally, I mean, I like all types of music. Obviously, I
Sure.
listen to a lot of blues and stuff. That's like
Yeah.
my bread and butter. I feel real kindred to it. But I am a huge fan of all music, and actually, with with having kind of a different or broader take on blues. Um, how do you say, like original blues when it was starting to be recorded and things like that in the 20s and whatnot. It actually had more of, I think it could be arguable, more of like a jazz, what we would call jazz
That's
nowadays.
right. Yeah.
um
Cabaret,
but
even
then
wasn't it? Sort
yeah
of.
but then but then you have like Jimi Hendrix and things like that, that kind of took it into their own and considered more rock, or kind of crossover you know um one and the same. So
That's it.
don't get me wrong, I like keeping some things real traditional,
Yeah.
to a certain extent. However, because I have a lot of multi influences with genres of music and artists,
Of
I'm kind of
course.
like a sponge when I do my take on things. It just naturally it's going to come out a certain way, so
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
And you're able to fuse all that and make it your own,
for sure.
which I always have this thing. I mean, your age is a great age to be playing music, and also 'cause usually blues is perceived as like an old timers type of music. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I know.
So it's so cool. It's so cool, and to watch you play, and also influence other youth to play. I mean, we got to find a way to do that, to pass it down, to get it on the local radio stations or the terrestrial radio stations, so they have a different choice than just having rap. They can
Yeah,
understand this old genre, but it's such a poignant genre, and it's such a beautiful genre, and it can grow. Well, that was my point. Was that Robert Johnson? He the style of blues we know now is from him. Can you imagine?
yeah.
He must have been innovative in that time as well. His time, people used to be probably saying, this is not blues, but, he's moved it forward, didn't it? Like you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it
Yeah,
should
very,
be
yeah,
doing that.
very innovative. Well, and he was kind of I wouldn't say a rock star of his time, because I don't think, to some extent, because I think people didn't realize, they didn't appreciate what was there, unfortunately, until he had passed. Or actually,
Yeah.
I forget. Oh gosh, I forget where it was. I think it was at Carnegie Hall, and it might have been the 70s actually.
Yeah.
Carnegie Hall did a concert, that of Robert Johnson, but all it was literally his music being played on record, and it was
No way.
wild and it was wild it still blows my mind to think of like all these people that came to fill Carnegie Hall for this concert of someone who's not here no more. And
Yeah.
that's one thing. How do you say, like, when people ask me like what do you want to see and things like that, or what are your goals, I said one of my goals are to be as much appreciated while I'm still living
That's
than
right.
not, because unfortunately, especially with blues, um, a lot of artists and things like that, like they don't really get, I think, feel their recognition always until they're either can't play no more because of old age and ailments, or have passed away, and then everyone's like, oh, they were so great. And it's like, well, you should have appreciated that when
I
they
know.
were
I
here.
know. How do you
So
how
yeah,
do you think we can do that to push forward? I mean, I tried doing things by taking this platform and trying to get it
absolutely.
out there to different, using modern technology. This is probably the first blues talk show ever.
Probably, yeah, probably so. Yeah, I mean, I think I mean, it's a multifaceted thing. I know for me as an artist, um trying to change maybe the perspective, or the approach to things, because I think, how do you say, like when I do interviews, or when I'm when I perform and people say, "Oh, like you're a blues musician," and then they automatically think, "Oh, it's for old people," and things like that.
I know.
I'll either, if I get it, if I have kind of a period of time to actually have a conversation with that person, I'm very bold and vocal about, like, no, this is some good stuff. You don't understand. Like, this is like mainstream, and my whole approach to it, and my personal perspective is that, like, this is like rock and roll, which rock and roll came
It's the
from blues.
baby, what they say, had a baby called rock and roll.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think I think a lot of it could be sometimes like on the artists, because I think I'll say this. I think sometimes artists are blues musicians and things. They might be afraid to break or not pay enough homage to the traditionalism of blues, which I'm all about. But I think sometimes having that perspective can get us pigeonholed and can kind of stifle us, like, okay, we know where we came from, we know our roots and things like that. We can
That's
do
right.
traditional blues. I tell folks, for me, I said I can play traditional blues all day. I love listening to it.
Yeah.
I like playing it myself, because that's the foundation. But don't be afraid to stray out, a little bit too.
That's
It's
right.
okay to grow with it, I think.
That's right. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a band over here, Kitten, and
Okay.
and promoters were a little bit afraid to book them because when
Yeah.
they listened to the album, the ones that weren't
Uh-huh.
afraid to book them, when the audience heard what they were playing, they were totally sold on it. So
Sure.
you can grow the genre.
Yeah.
People have to be on board to, like you said, not be afraid to expand on it. Be
Well, and that's
afraid
what,
to.
like, when you said, it makes me think too, like with venues and things like that. Um, usually I would say at least 75% of the time when you say, "Oh, we're a blues band," or "We're like this," venues think, "Oh, I have to have you like on a Sunday afternoon," almost like in like a gospel brunch thing. Which I'm not saying you can't, but like,
Yeah.
or they think, "Oh, blues again."
See, we got a little. Let's see. We got a little. She's got it frozen. You got it frozen as well, Patsy.
Dust off the cobwebs and be like, "Yo, yeah, book, I guess, blues bands, because it's so much more than, I don't know, the stereotypical singing about sad stuff and
Yeah.
whatnot, and not enjoying yourselves. And anyone who sees my show, they know you're gonna have a good time, because I like to
Yeah.
have a good time.
We're looking at it
And
now.
I
Yeah,
always
you look like you're rocking, man.
I tell people too. I say, with the younger generation, sometimes I don't think they give us enough, like nightclubs and stuff, not blues bars at all. And I'll try and play something other than blues, and I'll have an audience member who's, younger than me, and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, no, I want to hear Muddy Waters, or I want to hear
Sure.
like blues," and they're rocking out to it. Um,
Exactly.
you know. So I think, yeah, I think just overall people need to broaden their horizons a little bit and get out of that I don't know, old mentality. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some blues artists out there that do keep it, real pigeonholed to a
And
certain genre. And not that that's bad, but there's a lot
keep freezing. That's okay.
of
Sorry,
musicians
guys.
and artists
We'll get it
that
back.
offer more.
We keep
So,
getting you freezing every now and again. So just be aware of that. Not, but
oh, okay,
you're coming back just as strong. Yeah, I
okay,
always say, I have some friends that are maybe in their, I guess, maybe early 30s or something, even some teenagers. And they're like, well, how do they make a living, sort of thing. I said, you know what? There's some blues artists that work just about every day of the year around the world. I've got a friend, Deidre Farr. She works anywhere from Brazil to Russia. You know Deidre?
I know Dietrich, yeah, yeah,
Exactly, didn't she? And Mud. They be all over
yep,
the place. So it is worldwide. And
absolutely,
that's what I like about this platform, because we don't have to be anywhere. We can talk to any blues artist in the world, and that's what I'm
yeah,
hoping to bring it. They use this as a nucleus. So if you're coming over to London, for example, right, and so
yeah,
you come on here and like, well, I'm going to be in. That's what we done on a Wednesday night as well. So if you're traveling on Thursday or something like, you get here for Friday, Saturday sort of vibe. So if you're coming on the platform, say, look, I see you. So it brings a connection. It brings, not just show up and get your ticket. You already talked to them. You can talk to them on the chat. You know, I'm not selling it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that was
No,
the whole idea.
absolutely. Well, it's like before we went live on the air, I was telling you, you know, through this pandemic, it's forced us to find that alternative, which is social media and the internet and things like that, as a really functional tool. Don't get me wrong, it's not as good as like the real thing always, but it's a great alternative. Yeah, but it's a great alternative, especially considering, you know, the circumstances. So I agree with you 110%.
Nice one. Well, speaking of live, why don't you, Patsy? We're gonna get Ivy to play a song for us.
Oh, sure.
Yeah? Would you fancy doing that, Ivy?
I'd love to. I'd love to. I got my guitar already.
Okay. Let's have a look here.
Hopefully we got it all going.
That should be okay. That sounds okay. Thumbs up, Patsy, on you.
All right. Well, you love me, baby, but not in the right ways. Said you love me, baby, but not in the right ways. And I wish things could be better. I ain't got no more to say. Well, now you treat me kind. What was best for me? It kills me inside. You cannot see. You love me, baby, but not in the right ways. And I wish things could be better. I ain't got no more to say. Well, you love me, baby. Love me, baby. Yeah, you love me, baby. You love me, baby. And I wish things could be better. I ain't got no more to say. Well, you give your heart to me and no one else. I wish I could help you, honey. I can't help myself. You love me, baby, but not in the right ways. And I wish things could be better. I ain't got no more to say. Well, you love me, baby. Love me, baby. Love me, baby, but not in the right way. And I wish things could be better. I ain't got no more to say. Well, he said he wants me to teach him how to love me right. I said I wish I could, but I ain't got that time. You love me, baby, but not in the right ways. Well, I wish things could be better. I ain't got no more to say. Say you love me, baby. Love me, baby. Yeah, you love me, baby, but not in the right ways. And I wish things could be better. I ain't got no more to say. There you go, a little ditty going on. What do you want me to do over here? I did tie it.
Everyone your daughter's name?
This is Vivian. She'll be 4. She'll be 4 in July.
Oh, gorgeous. Say hello to everyone. You know, looking at you. Look, everyone in London's talking about you.
My mini-me over here. And I think she definitely taking over the. I think she'll be taking over the family business, whether I want or not. Yeah.
So you're a self-taught musician. Well, which instrument? I mean, you play piano, alto sax, drums, bass guitar, and as they say, primarily soft tone. Which one did you start with?
Um, well, I've always loved to sing since I was probably like Viv's age. When I was 9, I took a handful of piano lessons. And
Uh-huh.
So I probably a few months worth of lessons that way to learn the basics, and then as far as like continuing though,
Yeah.
all self-taught. And then when I was in high school and things like that, I joined band where I learned alto saxophone, um, and guitar I picked up when I was like 20.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
thank goodness for YouTube and things like that, because that's how
Isn't
I
that isn't that great? Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, this is a good start, good basis when you start music, when you learn music as a young person, is it gives you that sort of. Is Vivian playing music?
She definitely likes it.
Uh-huh.
She has a guitar or two of her own that she'll pick up and kind of
Oh,
tinker with a little bit,
hello.
and she has gotten into singing now recently. Be careful with that, Viv.
That's
Um,
it.
but yeah, no, I tell people like when they say I want to learn an instrument or something like that, I say even if it's just some basics, I would say piano is the best way to do it. Just
Isn't it?
because it's a better universal, even if you want to learn a different instrument down the road, having a little bit of piano knowledge, helps in a lot
Yeah.
of ways. It gives you a
The
great
octaves and the steps.
foundation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Having to learn the octaves and the steps and everything of that nature is in the basics, isn't it? And also, it's a visual. You
Yeah,
can see very well. It's like you black keys and white keys all set out in a section and repeating
yeah,
itself, isn't it?
yeah,
It's all
exactly.
quite
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
but it's funny because a lot of people, they ask me like, oh, or how do you say, when they hear about me playing piano, they'll ask me, when did you start playing piano? Because
yeah.
they think guitar was my first instrument. And I joke because I said no. I was like, guitar was the last of the Mohicans that I picked up, and like I said, I picked it up when I was about 20,
Yeah.
um,
That's still a
when
good
I was
age.
about 20 or so, and
Not long ago, really.
yeah, no, not long ago. And people say, well, how did you learn? Like, especially now, like with my lead playing and stuff, they say, how did you like learn that? Did you take lessons or study were harder? I said, no, I said, I don't know if it's a weird, I don't know, being
Yeah.
kind of in the element. I went to a lot of open jams and things like that and watched a lot of players.
That's
Um,
it.
yeah,
But you have
yeah, and I mean, it's not something you learn overnight, but this is I don't know, to 90% of the time I live and breathe this stuff, so
that's it.
it definitely becomes second nature for sure.
Yeah, it's a lovely feeling, isn't it, when it does become second nature? You can like really
Oh yeah.
connect with it. I'm learning myself at the moment, and when it does connect, it feels really good. I never knew why people would like make those faces and why they make all the body movement. I get it now. It goes right through your body, doesn't
Yeah, we got faces too. We sure do. That's funny. Yeah.
it?
Yeah, but no, I don't remember. It's funny because sometimes I think I don't remember ever not playing now. It's
Yeah,
whether it be guitar or piano or anything like that. I don't remember not when people like, when do you think like
yeah.
we're going back, when do you think you first like learned? I said, I don't know.
Yeah, it just has
Um,
been there so long, so much in your psyche, in your DNA.
yeah.
So, tell
Hmm.
us about this the polka dot Stratocaster that you play. I mean, that's what Buddy. You have played it, Buddy, guys. We put that picture up. We had to put that
Yeah.
picture up because we couldn't get the other one in the screen or whatever at the time.
Yeah.
You play it, Buddy, guys, and you play in Stratocaster. Is that a gift or?
So yeah, I got the polka dot guitar, the Buddy Guy guitar was actually a wedding gift from my husband at the time. And it's a full, I mean, the headstock and the body and stuff, it's all the same. It's registered with Fender, and it's an official Buddy Guy guitar. And
You're kidding. Wow.
yeah. And I don't know how or where he got it. But I won't ask too many questions. No. But it's a I mean, I tell folks, I say it's a fun looking guitar, obviously. I said, but it
It
plays really
is.
well, and it fits me. Buying
It
an
does
instrument, but
indeed. And
especially a guitar, it's like buying a pair of jeans or something like that. You can't fit in everyone else's clothes type of thing. It really is a
that's it.
personal
Yeah.
personal thing.
Yeah.
So and before that, I was never really a Stratocaster. Not that I disliked them, but I normally
Yeah.
played a. Before that, I had a Epiphone 339, a semi hollow body that I played, um, which I love. But the reason why I stopped playing that was when I was pregnant with Vivian. Later in my pregnancy, my belly got too big, and I couldn't. It was hard for me to play it. I
Because
ran out
it's
of
quite
room.
a big body, isn't it? Quite a wide
Yes,
body. So you have
yeah,
to climb
yeah.
that,
So yeah, so I bought me a cheap Stratocaster, a Squire, so I can
yeah.
and just to get the job done. And yeah, the polka dot guitar was a gift, and I love it. I mean, I've let's see, I got that. I've had that now 4 or 5 years, I think
Okay.
now, and that's. I mean, I play other guitars, but that's my go-to. So
Yeah.
I've broken it in very nicely, um, and um, and I'll tell you this: when I got it, I was afraid to play it at Buddy Guy's because I was afraid Buddy was going to be there and be like, "Hey, what do you do with my guitar?" But I will
Really,
say
I know.
this: yeah, when I one of my first gigs there with it, um, he was there and he got up on stage and sat in with us and stuff. Which I'm very very proud and very
Yeah.
honored that. Usually when we've played there, he's in town and he always gets up and plays with us and he kind of remembers who I
Really.
am and stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Um, so when I had the polka dot guitar and he came up, the first thing he gave me a hug and the first thing he said to me, he goes, "That guitar looks real good on you. You play it really well." So I was like, "Oh, okay." Whew.
Oh.
Um, yeah, so and then the first time I played at Buddy Guys, actually, I had just turned 21, and
Oh goodness.
I
Excited.
had actually I had opened up for him in January. So if people that don't know, every weekend in January, Buddy Guy plays. He's the headliner at his club. He does it every year. It's a very known thing.
What day
Um,
is that in January, please?
it's every weekend in January.
Every January, you guys note that, everybody. Every weekend in January, we're all going over to Chicago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So and then it's pretty much like all the big heavy hitters in the Chicago circuit, they're the ones that open up for him.
Yeah.
So it's a big to do. It's like, it's
Oh,
it's darn
that's
near it's up there like with Chicago Blues Fest, quite honestly. It's a
yeah.
huge thing. Um so so prior to that, I had gone to Buddy Guys to see another band play and they let me sit in and play a few songs. And so I did. And then like a week or so after, I got a phone call from Mark Maddox, who's the booker there at Legends. And he said, "Hey, is this Ivy Ford?" And
Uh,
I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm Mark Maddox from Buddy Guys Legends." And I thought I was in trouble. I was like, "Oh
yeah.
no, I forgot to pay a tab or something, who knows." Um, Anyways, so he goes, "I saw you last week. I wasn't at the
Yeah.
club, but I saw you last week because they record and live stream all the shows." So I'm getting real nervous, now. And he goes, "Do you have your own band?" I said, "Well, yeah, I do." And at that time I was playing a lot, but I was doing all locally
Yeah.
and small things. I said, "Yeah, I do." And he goes, "Well, we need an opener for Sunday, January 11th." I didn't know
What?
about the Buddy Guy shows in January. I had no
Yes.
idea.
Shut the
So
front door.
yeah,
Really?
so I said, "Okay, yeah, cool." And already it's like someone's asking you, they're calling you directly to play Buddy Guys.
You know what I
Um,
mean? They're calling you, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
that's the step there.
yeah. So I'm already, like pinch me, I'm dreaming. And right before I hung up the phone, I said, "Wait, wait, wait. I mean, maybe I don't need to know or anything, or like I'm not allowed to know, but who am I opening up for on Sunday, January 11th?" And he goes, "Oh, you're opening up for Buddy." I said, "Buddy Guy?" He goes, "Yeah." It took all I had to keep my composure, on the phone.
Stop.
Um, so yeah. So I got to open up for Buddy Guy. It was a
Uh-huh.
huge to do also because it was the first time they ever allowed anybody under 21, because that's the legal age to be in bars in Chicago. Anyone
Yeah.
under 21 to
Yeah.
come to an evening show at the club. And a great person, a musician, Fernando Jones. He does a blues camp for kids based out of Chicago, but does it, I think, other places too. he had brought some of his blues kids there to perform, and it was, you know, quite big to do. And so I got to open up for Buddy. I got to see his show. Buddy came off the stage and came and sang with me, and it was,
Oh,
yeah,
what?
it was crazy. In all, you know, in all the right ways, and that was it was a big kickoff, you know, for my career, rightfully so.
Yeah, definitely,
And then since,
definitely.
right, and then since then, it's very cool. I'm good friends with a couple of Buddy's kids that are also musicians and whatnot. And you know, the Buddy Guys Legends, his club and stuff, is kind of like a
That's
second
it.
home, and I'm kind of part, you know, part of the household names there, so it's pretty
No,
epic.
that's pretty amazing. I mean, his club is very famous. I mean, BB King's got a club. Is that the other club, Ground Zero? Is that the actor
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan? Is that his club?
I know, I forget who all the titles for which is which,
Yeah.
but I know that he has I know that he has big influence on it, some big connection. I mean, he's a huge fan, you know, and supporter of blues and roots and stuff, like, you know,
That's it.
stuff like
Yeah.
that too.
So you play all,
I've not been there yet, Ground Zero. I want to go. That's on my bucket list.
yeah.
I've been down to Memphis. I've been down to BB King's in Memphis and stuff like that. I haven't been down to Ground Zero though yet.
Yeah.
I will
Do
though.
you get over to the West Coast sometimes, like Los Angeles and things like that?
A few years back, actually, I got to play out in Los Angeles. I was there for a few days. It was around the NAMM show, which is the big music expo in Anaheim.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
I got to attend that. And I did a few private parties, like up in the hills, and the house band that
yeah, that's nice.
and the house
They
band
can
that they
live
put
on the West
together.
Coast.
Yeah. The house band that I got to play with, the keyboard player was Deacon Jones, who was Freddie King's keyboard player.
Oh, what? My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was pretty cool. And one of the most humble, you know, may he rest easy. I know he's been passed now for a few years now, but and his wife and stuff like that, she's a sweetheart. And we still stay in contact. But yeah, Deacon Jones, talk about what a treat, what an honor. You know, I'm a huge Freddie King fan anyway. So when I realized, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. What?
I mean, you've had a track record already. You know, another 30, 40 years in the business, you'll be definitely a blues queen and have the stories to go behind it as well. And I commend you for that.
Hopefully,
Well
that's the plan.
Well done. It says that there's an artist, is it J.B. Ritchie, who played the Buddy Guy as well, didn't he?
Yeah. So J.B. Ritchie, who's a very good friend of mine, he is actually in the Chicago Blues Hall of Fame as a guitar player and stuff. He first started out in like the 60s and 70s. He worked sound for like Muddy Waters and some big artists back in the day, at the time before he came out as an artist himself. And I met him about 6-7 years ago. And we hit it off real well, and he introduced me to a lot of people in Chicago and things like that. And it wasn't long after that I actually became his bass player when he was still playing and whatnot. And man, some of the most fun times and the stories that we have. He unfortunately, just because of old age and life and stuff like that, he doesn't play too much now, if at all. But when he did, and like in his prime, he's considered probably one of the best slide guitar players, at least in Chicagoland area, if not you know, broader. But
yeah. Okay. Well, I wonder if you want to maybe put us another song on the record player for us. Would you mind?
Yeah, I'd love to.
And,
I'll do. Let's see here.
We'll get some details in the back. Just gotta tune it up. That's good.
Yeah, I'm actually.
So where are you tuning it to?
I'm tuning it to drop D, open D. I'm going to do some slide playing, which actually this guitar slide JB actually gave to me. He has a couple that he actually made himself, and the only ones that he plays with. And so he gave me this, I don't know, years ago. And when he did, I said, I don't know what to do with that because I didn't play slide at all. And he goes, you'll figure it out. So yeah. But yeah, I play slide primarily in drop open D.
Okay. And what's the name of the song?
This is going to be called, it's called The Devil's Song. I actually wrote this. This is on my album before last called Harvesting My Roots.
Well done. Okay, make it away, girl.
I don't know if I owe the devil from any road I've crossed. I don't know if I owe the devil many roads I've crossed. And I've been a lot of places, and I've been lost. I don't know if I owe the devil but many roads I've crossed. Well, I don't know if I owe the devil many roads I've crossed. I've been a lot of places, oh, and I've been lost. I don't look for trouble, but trouble finds me. I know what sadness can do. It can knock you to your knees. I don't know if I owe the devil but many roads I've crossed. I've been a lot of places, and I've been lost. I do wrong when I try to do right. I know what it's like to be wide awake in the middle of the night. Oh, I don't know if I owe the devil the many roads I've crossed. I've been a lot of places, oh, and I've been lost. Said I don't know if I owe the devil the many roads I've crossed. I don't know if I owe the devil the many roads I've crossed. And I've been in a lot of places, and I've been lost. Little devil song. Very much Robert Johnson inspired on that one. There's a lot of things. Oh, I'm like just tuning in now to everyone's comments and things, everyone that's tuning in, which is awesome. Thank you guys.
That's really cool, isn't it? We got listeners. The sound is breaking up a little bit, but it's okay on this side. It's hard to get the technology straight in there, but we'll ask Graham Norton for a few hints, helpful hints, and we'll keep
Hey,
working on
yes,
it. Keep building
yes.
we'll keep building the technology. You know what I mean? So we can catch Ivy. For why don't you tell us where you're going to be this weekend? Isn't it Friday, April 9th?
Yeah, Friday I'm going to be at Rose's Lounge in Chicago. Me and my band. Uh, we start at 9:30. So, and I think you can reserve tickets at roseslounge.com. Because again, if things are opening up, but things are limited and whatnot. So you can reserve tickets or whatnot at roseslounge.com. And then Saturday, me and my band travel to Valparaiso, Indiana, to play.
Indiana, yeah, I in Indiana.
Yeah,
That's what, yeah.
yeah, and that'll be fun. We play this really, really awesome wine bar in downtown Valparaiso. It's called
Yeah.
Element.
Okay.
And actually you can the couple that own it, they're huge blues fans. So a lot of the live music that's there, they get a lot of us big hitters from Chicago. And you can probably some of the best blues you'll find between Chicago and Indiana. So that's where we are at Saturday. Friday at Rose's Lounge, and then Saturday at Elements Wine Bar in Valparaiso.
Fantastic. And if they want to get a hold of some of your music, where can they find it? And where's your socials, please?
Yeah, so all my music's available directly on my website, which is ivyfordmusic.com. You can either order hard copies and I sign them. They come straight directly from my hands to yours.
Oh,
Or
fantastic.
you can download them on there. I will say, just because I have to be honest, all my music also is available on digital platforms like Amazon, iTunes, Spotify. But as always, for anyone, any musician, it's always best to get it directly from the artist. So for me, it's ivyfordmusic.com under music. And then my Facebook is facebook.com/Ivy Ford. My Instagram is at Miss Ivy Ford, as well as my Twitter too. So that's where you can see me and
Well,
my life
we're
happenings. For those of you that already follow me on my Instagram, things like that, I have a lot of pics of me and Miss Vivian, my daughter too. So it's kind of fun.
Miss Vivian, yeah. Well, we look forward to you coming over to Europe one day. Here, and we're based here in London, UK, and things open back up. We got the Blues Kitchen. They've got quite a few venues, and the Blues
Yeah,
on the
I'm hoping
Bridge.
this past fall I actually was supposed to be over by you guys starting out in France first, but then obviously because of everything going on in the pandemic, everything got postponed. But hopefully we will be rescheduling some things for the near future over there.
Exactly.
So
And
that's the
before you
plan.
do, stop by and tell everybody that you're on your way over. So they can be there with it with open arms and tickets in hand.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everyone, give a round of applause for Ivy Ford. Thank you so much, Mrs. for popping in, you and Vivian. And
Thank you.
I guess we're gonna see you later. Let's say goodbye to Patsy. Hey, Patsy. Hi, Patsy. All right then. Well, Patsy, why don't you take us home? Listen, remember you got ivyformusic.com and go to her sites and pick up some of the music, and we'll see her later. Go ahead, Patsy. Take us home, girl.